We are on the verge of a technological shift that isn't just an upgrade, it's a complete rewrite of how we interact with the digital world. And this isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I know that's a bold statement, but just stick with me because that's the core idea we're unpacking today. That familiar habit of typing a few words into a box and scrolling through a sea of blue links, it's on its way out. Why? Because something way, way more powerful is about to take its place.
Think about how we use search engines right now. They're basically the world's greatest library. You ask a question and it points you to the right aisle, the right shelf, even the right book. But you still have to do all the heavy lifting. You have to read everything, connect the dots, and figure out the answer for yourself.
Now, let's compare that to an AI agent. This is a totally different ballgame. The agent is like your own personal research assistant. You don't ask it for directions to the book, you just give it a goal. It goes to that same library, reads all the relevant books, synthesizes the information, and comes back to you with the task already done. This really gets to the heart of the shift we're talking about, moving from just finding information to actually getting things done.
So right about now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I use AI chatbots all the time. What's the big deal? And that's a great point. But there's a huge, critical difference between the AI we've gotten used to and the agents that are now coming online. So let's break down what really sets them apart.
This slide right here, this is the whole shebang. A chatbot is a conversationalist. It's fantastic at brainstorming. You can ask it to help you plan a trip, and it will give you great ideas. It talks about doing the work. An agent, on the other hand, is an executor. It doesn't just talk about the trip. It actually goes out, accesses your calendar, books the flights, reserves the hotel, and rents the car. It takes real, concrete actions for you in the digital world. Okay, so that ability to act brings us to the main event. How on earth does an agent go from a simple request like plan my trip to completing a bunch of complex multi-step tasks? Well, it's time to pop the hood and see how this engine actually runs.
So, the big question is, what's going on in its head? Well, it's not magic, not at all. It's actually a really deliberate logical cycle that lets the agent reason, act on that reasoning, and most importantly, learn from what happens. It all comes down to this simple 4-step loop. First, it figures out the real goal behind your request. Second, it creates a step-by-step plan to achieve it. Third, it starts executing that plan using real digital tools. And fourth, and this is the secret sauce, it observes the results of its actions, learns from any mistakes, and refines the plan. It just keeps running that loop over and over, getting smarter each time until the job is done. And what's powering this whole process is this incredible synergy of hardware and software. You've got these massive GPU clusters providing the raw horsepower, kind of like the engine. You have large language models acting as the brain, doing all the reasoning and planning. And then you have APIs, which you can think of as the agent's hands, allowing it to actually reach out and interact with other websites and apps to get stuff done. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does all this power actually look like in the real world? Let's put a human and an AI agent side by side on the exact same complex task. You're about to see a mind-blowing difference in productivity. Just look at this breakdown. A human, well, we work one step at a time. First, you search for flights. Then you open another tab for hotels. Then another for rental cars. The AI agent, it does all of that at the same time, in parallel. While you're manually typing in your name and credit card details for the 5th time, the agent is hitting booking APIs directly, and it's all done in seconds. By the time you're fumbling with calendar invites, the agent has already created a full itinerary and synced it to all your devices. The bottom line, hours of your work and all the potential for mistakes just became less than a minute of its work. I mean, that level of efficiency is a true game changer, and it naturally leads us to the most important question of all. If agents are taking over all the doing, what's left for us to do? How do we stay valuable in this new agentic age? This right here, this is probably the biggest takeaway from our entire explainer today. Your value is no longer about knowing the step-by-step how to get a task done. The agent's got that covered. Your new crucial value lies in defining what needs to be done, and even more importantly, why it needs to be done. You can think of this as goal engineering. Your job is to be the architect of the objective, the big picture vision, the creative strategy, the critical thinking behind the goal itself. That's where human insight becomes absolutely essential. You provide the what and the why, and you let your superpowered assistant handle all of the how. And that leaves us with one final really powerful thought to chew on.
For decades, the search bar gave us answers. AI agents are about to give us execution. So the real question for our future isn't about the information you can find, it's about the ambition of your vision. When your assistant can literally do anything, what will you ask it to do?